Let's go. It's your back, they keep passing. It they bring out the best thing. I they feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I they feel you die.
What's happening, people? It's Joe Awesome. We got a new episode of Awesome Entertainment. All right, we breaking down X-Men 97. The finale, episode 9. Screen Crush gonna break it down. I'm gonna react to it. I forgot to do a video of this. But
X-Men 97 just set up an all-out.
I like the ending. I thought it was all right.
Welcome back to Screen Crush. I'm Ryan Arias.
People didn't like that was Gambit. I thought it was cool.
Things you might have missed in the season 2 finale of X-Men 97. Now, if you guys follow our socials, you know that I truly did not like the last episode. I wanted the show to keep Remy dead because, remember, it was an all-time great episode of television. But after this episode, I'm kind of warming up to the resurrection, but we'll talk about that as we go along. Now, the intro usually...
He's 100% right. That Remember episode was not a cold episode, probably the coldest episode of all the X-Men 97s. But I didn't think he's going to stay dead. Come on, man. It's Marvel. These niggas don't stay dead.
A ton of clips from
I just be waiting for them to come.
But they've added so many members to the team that they rarely pause to show us clips from the past. We do see this clip of Cable and the Clan Chosen fighting Apocalypse in the future, which is taken from the episode Time Fugitives Part 1. Also, notice that Sunspot and Jubilee have officially rejoined the opening credits, taking the total team membership up to 15. And that's not even counting Colossus, who's just watching the kids at the school. Now, in the comics, when the team membership would swell like this, they would usually split the teams off into spin-off books, like Excalibur, or they would split it into 2 teams, like the Blue and Gold squads in the early 90s. X-Men 97 is confirmed for 2 more seasons, but I don't see them playing in the spin-off series just yet.
I like the X-Force intro. They did X-Factor too, but I don't want to see them split the group. I want a big-ass group of X-Men.
On the comments, let me know if you think there are any team members who should go or stay. Now, in the final shot, instead of Magneto and supervillains facing the team, we see Val Cooper with X-Factor. And there's a cool little moment here where her glasses flash like they do at the end of the episode in front of the computer. Now, maybe this is hinting that she's been Mystique all along. But at the very least, I think this is showing us how she's been kind of the big bad for the whole season, manipulating events behind the scenes. Now, we're going to explain Val Cooper a bit more as we go along. In the center, we see Quentin Quire, Pixie Chamber, and a girl created for the background of Genosha running from a piloted mech sentinel. And that leads us into the episode with Cable saying,
"The woman who raised me told me I had a destiny. To kill Apocalypse."
Now, he is referring to Mother Ascani, who we saw leading Nathan's clan of rebels in episode 1. She's actually Rachel Summers, Scott and Jean's daughter from an alternate timeline who traveled into the future to lead Clan Ascani and guide Nathan to his destiny. From the time he was a child, Cable was told that he was going to destroy Apocalypse. We heard the prophecy in episode 1.
The one destined to destroy Apocalypse will rise from the cradle that birthed his power.
So this makes Nathan 100% convinced that everything he ever does is right because it is preordained. And as we'll see later in the episode, this backfires on him because he does something morally dubious in the name of a greater good, which then creates a greater evil. Now, this season has shown us that the X-Men are stuck
I did like that. That makes you want to pick up a video game and play with Super Gambit.
I do say right now? All right, well, it gets a little timey-wimey and confusing, but in the 2-parter Rise of Apocalypse, we see the origin of how Ensaba Noor became Apocalypse. He discovers a ship in the past that has hieroglyphics of his future. And this is the same ship we see later in this episode, and we've seen it before in the episode Obsession. That episode also began Hank's friendship with the AI.
"We request permission to board you."
Permission granted.
In that episode, Beast actually makes friends with a computer called Ship, which then turned against Apocalypse to aid the X-Men. And this is adapted from the X-Factor comics, where Apocalypse's ship became the headquarters for the team. So when Beast arrived in the past, he recognized the ship immediately.
"This is no temple, but the mighty spacecraft Ship."
So this is all implying that the past, present, and future have already been written. Apocalypse was foretold to be created at this altar, and this altar was also foretold to create Cable, as we saw in episode 1.
Time travel
this episode shows that maybe the Celestials can alter that inevitability, which we'll explain a little later in the video. I love this show because every time that scene kicks in, I am transported back to Saturday mornings when I was a kid. And it's rare to have a piece of art that can instantly make you feel like you're a part of something that you love. Like, I was also a huge Transformers fan when I was a kid, and I love how that lore still continues on today.
What do you mean?
Well, like in the game Transformers Eternal War, which we're collaborating with on this video, you forge an original.
Oh, yeah, niggas out here boosting. Yeah, I was like, man, what a segue, though. Get that money.
But it's important for this episode, so I want to run through it.
Y'all money.
The Celestials are a cabal of space gods that claim to create suns and galaxies and planets and maybe even the universe.
And I think they said they're retconning it to where the deviants or the mutants are descendants of the deviants. I like that. I think that's a good idea.
They also lay eggs in planets and need the population of said planet to thrive in order for that
MCU in the
egg
movies.
to grow. This is slightly different from the comics, where the Celestials arrived on Earth millions of years ago in order to implant a special gene into humanity that allows humans to gain superpowers. The X gene that creates mutant kind is a part of this Celestial gene. We also saw a Celestial in Guardians of the Galaxy, Isan the Searcher, using the Power Stone to mow down an entire planet. Now, in episode 4, Ensabanor meets this same Celestial, Isan, who gives him the power to bring death for reasons we'll explain in a bit. But the important thing is, Apocalypse always emits this cosmic energy, which is how Cable was able to track him down to various resurrection chambers in the future. Cable even calls Xavier Chuck, a nickname that he really hated in the comics. Now, when we flash into Gambit's brain, we do see Apocalypse drawn with just an outline. And this is similar to how his disembodied presence appeared in the season 5 episode, The Fifth Horseman. This was also the first episode to show us that Apocalypse's mind could
That's cool and all, but are you going to have Rogue take Captain Marvel's powers in the MCU? That's what we want to know. Because in the cartoon, I think Captain Marvel turned into like an evil demon was living in Rogue's head. That would be dope. Y'all ain't got the balls to do that shit.
Body. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I really hated the Gambit return, but I love the trolley problem
what's the face at?
For Charles, he could kill Gambit to finally get revenge on the man who killed his best friend, but he refuses to betray his principles, and this leads us to what may be the ultimate death of Apocalypse that we'll talk about later on. Next, we see Beast, Rogue, and Nightcrawler reuniting with Ship. Now, in the original series episode Obsession, Beast took quite a liking to the AI, and they became friends. The episode ended with Beast recovering this tablet and being forced to watch Ship kill itself in order to stop Apocalypse. However, after the other X-Men encountered it in the future, the team must have realized that the ship wasn't destroyed, so now they're searching for it on the ocean floor. We see these same hieroglyphics that we saw in ancient Egypt, with particular focus on the Celestial Isan the Searcher. Ship warns them,
"If you try to end him, you risk offending powers beyond your comprehension."
And she's not just talking about the Celestials, she's referring to the cosmic balance itself. In the arc Beyond Good and Evil, the heroes even theorize that if Apocalypse is the embodiment of evil, then he can never be killed. Now, the Celestial doesn't see the universe in terms of good or bad, they only see growth. See, the Celestials are cosmic gardeners who cut the weeds out of a planet so the strongest plants can thrive and survive. This fits directly with Apocalypse's philosophy of survival of the fittest. It's also the bedrock of evolution, and mutants are the result of
I like
evolution.
that though.
So you can see all the ways that the philosophy of...
I like when they're like, yo, we got to weed out the weak ones. We got to kill out the weak ones and keep the strong ones. I like that shit. And I wanted to do that with the Judgment Day with the Celestials
and Apocalypse aligned, which is why they granted him this power, to be a destructive force on Earth to create stronger mutants.
Think about these
the statue
X-Men
opens up, and actually,
like Kang and Apocalypse.
We saw a similar statue with a similar mount portal in a later run where the team fights Apocalypse. Rogue fights her way forward, and remember, she absorbed the powers of Bismarck and Carol Danvers.
Once again, the library will be closing at midnight.
Look at this shit, bro.
Rogue fights her way forward, and remember, she absorbed the powers of Bismarck and Carol Danvers. Now, this character is not as powerful in the show as she is in the movies, but there is still a touch of cosmic energy in Rogue at this point, which could be part of what helps her to survive and push through. But mostly, she's able to enter the gate because she actually has part of the power from a Celestial. Last episode, we learned that Apocalypse gave a portion of his powers to his love Kandra, who then betrayed him. Then, Gambit stole the gem and jammed it into Rogue, imbuing her with some of the Celestial's power. Now, while she enters the chamber, X-Factor shows up with Genosha to assault X-Core Tower. So now,
but I remember the thing from Eternals.
Colossus, who's at the mansion babysitting the kids.
Bring back
now,
Eternals,
I enjoyed seeing Val Cooper's evolution over the course of this show. She is voiced by original actress Catherine Disher, and in season 1, we first saw her coordinating with Cyclops and working on behalf of mutants. But following Genosha, it was revealed that she was also working with Bastion to create a failsafe against mutants. Now, she didn't know about the Giant Sentinel or the plant to destroy Genosha, but she was complicit in the capture of Magneto. However, eventually her conscience got to her and she freed him.
Magneto was right.
And this season, she's gotten a promotion to actually leading a government-sanctioned superhero team. Now, it seems like she's
right, though. We knew that.
Ground. She still believes that mutants are dangerous and need to be policed, but at least she thinks it should be mutants doing the policing. And now she's actually giving orders to Cable, who very easily uses his future technology to break through the defense
can't disagree with
Remember,
that.
Cable also has a little bit of that celestial magic.
I can't disagree with that. She thinks the mutants need to be policed by mutants. I'm cool with that. I really think y'all need to separate, though. Let's just be honest. Segregation is the only way. It's the only way with these mutants, man. These motherfuckers be hitting puberty and just blowing the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Regular people can't be around that shit. Y'all gotta be around mutants. We need to split the world in half and segregate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We got upgrades when he put his arm into the Celestial Altar in the future. Val launches the piloted Sentinels, which are similar to Sentinel Squad 1 from the comics. Now, a few episodes ago, we saw that she had models of Sentinels in her office, and we thought this was really weird at the time, but this explains why. Back in Season 1 of the original show, Master Mold decided to replace humanity.
You will remove Senator Kelly's brain and replace it with a computer.
So apparently, the government has decided that the real problem was
being the senator,
artificial intelligence. This defense grid was specifically designed for Sentinel attack, following the Sentinel assault on Genosha in the episode Remember It. And right on the eve of battle, Bishop asked Polaris how it feels to go up against her former team.
I'm an X-Man. Pretty sure I always was.
Now, she wasn't a founding member of this version of the X-Men, but she was the first to join afterwards. In the episode Cold Comfort, we saw that she left her old boyfriend Iceman to join X-Factor and to be with Havoc, but more on him later. Charles is also hooked up to Cerebra, an updated version of Cerebro that first appeared during the Grant Morrison run of New X-Men. And that takes us to Rogue. She is in a white void drawn in.
Look, man, we gonna skip
this calls to mind the visual of Circe communicating with Arishem and
that looks way cool.
But the White Void is also very much like the realm of eternity and the living tribunal in the comics, where mortals like Adam Warlock could commune with these cosmic entities. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Rogue entered this realm
that's kind of interesting.
That
makes
sense. At least grants her an audience with Eson.
They weren't just putting an environment
chosen for this power.
Life only advances at the expense of other lives through struggle, through apocalypse.
The Celestials need some force on Earth to propel evolution forward. And I should note that in the alternate Earth X universe, it was revealed that they needed people of Earth to act as antibodies to protect the egg and the planet against cosmic threats like Galactus. I think that makes way more sense than babies eating brainwaves of humans, but hey, what do I know? So the turning point of the episode is when she refuses to give up and Eson sees her strength and is intrigued by it. And this actually goes back to the theme. Uses to give up. He's eating brainwaves of humans.
Yeah, let me go ahead and wrap this up. It was a good show. The ending, so it ends with her. She's sacrificing her life for Gambit. I think Gambit was trying to sacrifice his life for this group, but then Kurt Nightcrawler ends up sacrificing his life for her because she's his sister. And I'm like, this is kind of getting... It's just winding down. You should have had her bring him back and die for real and reap the consequences. I guess she did suffer consequences because her brother is gone now. I guess. I mean, he's going to come back. Gambit came back. But I felt like it kind of got a little bit of loopy-loop at the end. I was like, oh, I'm giving up my life. No, I'm giving up my life. No, I'm giving up my life. I was like, all right, y'all had the show. Y'all could have just killed somebody and kept it pushing. You could have just killed Gambit and kept it pushing. You know, that would have been the real sacrifice. She had to kill somebody she loved. They say you ain't no real killer until you do. You know, I wouldn't know. Okay, I wouldn't know. I'm not guilty. Y'all got to feel me. Either way, I thought this season was okay. People said it wasn't as good as last season. I think last season was a little bit overhyped. I thought it was good. It's better than most of the shit Marvel makes animated. But it's something to watch. If they cancel it, I'm not losing no sleep. If they bring back season 3, I'll watch it. It's nothing, but it's I don't want to call it a nothing burger because it's still good content. You know, it's another X-Men show, which is it's all good, but it's not groundbreaking. It ain't gonna change your life. It ain't gonna change your life, but it's entertaining. Either way, let me know what y'all think. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. Nah. Don't play with my patience, man, they gone with the flow when they tryna fake it. That's not the way I roll, that's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man, don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip, ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's